Hello everybody, Flying Scotsman 4472, back again with another video. Today is finally the big day. I'm reviewing my Hornby TT120 scale Flying Scotsman train set, or I guess in this case, the Scotsman. This train set came out in late December of 2022, and I actually did get it in 2022. It was one of my Christmas presents. However, I did not have the space to set it up into a proper video. I will let you guys know this is not a complete unboxing because I have taken out everything just to make sure it all works. And not everything has been left in the box because of a certain reason that I will show you later. But here's the back of the box. That's what the set comes with. There is no track mat, just so y'all know. I know that may be thinking that there's a track mat in this like there is in the normal HO scale Flying Scotsman set, but there isn't one. So what you get in the set is you get a locomotive and you get 3 coaches, 2 composite Pullmans and 1 brake. There you go, just more side stuff. And then back to the front where you got the Flying Scotsman on the front. Well, that's not really the Scotsman, that's Blink Bonnie. If you don't know why Flying Scotsman isn't actually the engine that comes in the set, I actually don't know why they chose not to put Scotsman in the set, other than they wanted to put a different A1. But I'm happy with it. Blink Bonnie is still a very gorgeous looking locomotive, and it has the same sort of classic LNER paint that people often associate with Flying Scotsman. So, let's unbox it. You just gotta remove this tab here from the flaps and pull it out. And there you go. There's the set. Obviously the set's not out yet, so let's take off this little white piece of cardboard. And inside you have everything. You can see the track, you can see the little re-railer, which has already been taken out of its bag. There is also a buffer piece. You can see the coaches and also the locomotive. As you can see, I do not have the controller or the cords in here. I also don't have the power track in here, and that is for a reason I will show off later. And then if you take out this cardboard piece, on the bottom you have your instructions, and you also have a little manual about the locomotive. So that's good to have. So make sure you look at that. So yeah, now that we've looked at this packaging, let's get the locomotive and coaches out. So let's start with the coaches because they're right here. Here's one of the composite Pullmans, and we'll take a better look at this coaches in a minute, but let's just take a basic overlook. Gorgeous coaches, really, really nicely applied paint. Interesting couplings. They look very similar to the standard hook and loop couplers, but they seem to work a little bit differently, but very, very nice and really nice inner detailing. I know that these coaches are supposed to come with lights eventually. I was very interested that they did not put them in this set, but I've heard that they are supposed to get them in future sets, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, there's one coach. And then you get one other composite coach right here. It's basically identical. There's no difference between the 2 coaches here. And then you get the brake coach, which is always nice to have so that your train doesn't go just running down the line. Again, gorgeously applied details. We'll go into more of this in a minute. And then finally, you have your locomotive, which is nicely encased in this block of ice, which is basically what it is. So yeah. Now that that's done, let's get everything out and take a look at the locomotives and rolling stock. Before we do the engine's rolling stock, I would like to actually quickly go over the track. So this here is standard Hornby 00 scale track. As you can see, it's pretty wide, but really nice track. Here is one TT120. As you can see, thinner sleepers and also a little bit of thinner gauge. Sorry, trying to line it up there. As you can see, a little bit of a thinner gauge. And actually, 2 of these TT120 tracks is equal to about 2 of these. I don't know how long this straight piece is, but one of the shorter straight pieces you get in the Flying Scotsman sets, that's what they're equal to. But overall, they look fairly similar in design and like how they're structured. But yeah, I just wanted to show that off quickly. So now let's actually get into the locomotive. Here we have Scotsman. Let's get him out of his ice block prison. Again, I have taken out everything to make sure it actually runs, and my set actually does work. So yeah. Get him out and move that out of the way. Wow. Absolutely gorgeous. Blink Bonnie. Gorgeous locomotive. And I'm so happy that they made it this A1, because these A1s are normally in their HO00 scale range, but they're so expensive because they're in their main range, and I've always wanted these classic A1s. Also, we got some under brake detailing, which I don't believe comes on my normal Flying Scotsman. No, you have to actually apply that. But yeah, and then there you can see the plug and the bar. I've heard people complain about it and say it's distracting. When it's running on the track, you can't see it, so to me it's fine, but I'm also not as serious of a modeler. This is my first ever... This TT120 is my way of doing model railroading with space, because I didn't ever have space to do 00 scale. But yeah. Gorgeous looking tender with the red lining. Handrails on the back, buffers. Gorgeous looking coal. Let's just spin it around. So yeah, gorgeous looking locomotive. Let's get on a lower level. So as you all can see, this locomotive has some really, really nice detail running all along it, from the really nice nameplates, which clearly show Blink Bonnie, to the well-applied number and lettering for the LNER. The handrails are nice, and they're pretty delicate looking, so don't handle this thing around too badly. Of course, it's a model train. I would hope you wouldn't. The wheels also have really nice white lining along them. The valve gear looks great. Very, very impressed. The cylinders are just all black, but I don't know how prototypical that is, or if it's not. Great looking handrails. Nice little smoke box bullet. You got lamp posts here, where I'm assuming you could put the discs to show what type of locomotive it is. Gorgeous brass safety valves. I don't know if they are actually made out of brass, but they look like they're made out of brass. So if they're painted, amazing. You have the pony truck, which does not have a flange. It is a flangeless wheel because this pony is stuck. And then you have the tender, which does have some in-between detailing right here. And the locomotive does actually have some cab detailing. I don't know if you can see that there, but there is actually some painted detailing in the cab. So, gorgeous locomotive, just gorgeous. And I also wanted to show you the size difference between this and a 00 scale model. So here is the Flying Scotsman locomotive from the very same Scotsman set, just in 00 scale. They are lined up together. As you can see, pretty big size difference. I've heard a lot of people say that these are closer to N scale than they are 00, and that's because 00 scale is actually oversized to the track. I personally don't care. I think that the TT scale is gorgeous anyways, and I think the smaller scale helps me at least because I don't have a lot of space, but I didn't want to invest in N scale because there's not a lot of N scale train sets that are like this, and getting N scale from Britain is a lot harder for me. But yeah, gorgeous locomotive, and I really, really like this engine. So yeah, let's get on to the coaches. So here we have the coaches. I just have two right here because the third one's basically the same. So let's look at the composite coach first, or the composite coach, however you want to say it. Gorgeous looking coach. Wonderfully paint applied detail. All really nicely done windows. Really nice inner detail. You got even undercarriage detail, which looks really good. You got the nice little crest there. And you've got the car doors in between. My camera won't focus on it, but yeah. Gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous coaches. And all the writing is done really well as well. So here's the brake coach. As you can see, there it does have a slightly different design for the baggage. This is a third class coach. I don't know what classes the other ones are, so if somebody does know, please tell me. Again, really, really gorgeous coaches. They even have really nice roof detailing. I do wish the roofs were silver, as I've seen 00 scale Pullmans that have silver roofs, although I don't know, that could be a different type of coach thing, so if somebody knows why they aren't silver, just let me know. But yeah, so those are the coaches, and I also want to show off the size difference between the coaches as well. So I actually have here one of my Flying Scotsman train set teak coaches, which I know that they're not the same coach, but this is more just for a sense of scale and not really comparing detail. And that is a pretty massive size difference, if I do say so myself. Like, the Pullman is about 3/4 as long, 2/3 as long as the teak. That is a pretty massive size difference, and it's about half the size height-wise. So, pretty massive size difference, but yeah, I don't know. It's up to you what you like. And now let's move on to a particular problem that I have with my set specifically. So one thing that has been documented recently is the curves of the track on this train sets and just TT1 scale track for Hornby in general is inaccurate, and the radiuses aren't quite as correct. That has been documented, and if you want to see videos that show this, look at Sam's Trains in his recent model railroading news of the month video. He goes into detail about this issue and how it's not necessarily the best for the train sets. However, my train set actually has a flaw in and of itself, and this is why I didn't put the power track back in the box, and it's because of this. If you don't know how these pieces work, you press down right here this button, and a plate on the inside of the power track moves up. This then allows you to slip in the little pins here that then fall down and create contact. My track is faulty, and so the pins do not move up all the way, which means I have to basically jam this piece in there. This is not great for the track, and I know this, and I'm planning on getting another piece of power track to replace this one. I am quite frustrated that this is the issue, but from what I've seen, how other people have just straight up not had the power track, I'm glad I at least have one that works. And even though it takes a little bit of finagling, I am able to get it to work. That's why the power track is like this. I know how to assemble it properly. It's just the plates will physically not move up to let the pins go in, which is unfortunate. So now that I've talked about that, let me get the train set. All right, everybody. Now the track is all built, so we're going to put all the trains on the tracks. So first, I'm going to use the re-railer that is actually supplied in the set. I'm going to place it down right there. I'm going to take Blink Bonnie, just gently pull him down. Sounds like he's on the tracks. And there we go. Blink Bonnie is on the tracks. So now we are going to give Blink Bonnie a run. Again, I have ran it 30 minutes already. Oh, one thing I also want to mention. On your locomotives, you're also going to have this, most likely. There's this little black piece of tape. Let me try and put it on. There's this little black piece of tape. If you're wondering why I'm bringing this up, that is because on every locomotive, I believe, it is in right here under their bogies, their front bogies. I don't know what it is. It may have something to do with the manufacturing process, but I saw this in a video that was talking about how it made the bogies keep from moving, and it was doing the same on my model. So I also removed it, and it has made them run significantly better. So I would suggest removing that once you get the model. All right. Now that we have gotten Blink Bonnie all on the track, let's actually get it running. So I'm using the Hornby controller supplied in the sets. Let's see how it goes. For a crawl, that's not that bad. You can hear it definitely struggling to do it, but not bad. I don't know what to expect with these TT scale models, but to me, that looks like a pretty decent crawl. Okay, it doesn't seem to do as well backwards. Now, one thing I'm also going to say is don't judge this fully off this controller, because I have seen, like with Sam's Trains, he has done it with a Gauge Master controller, and that seems to work a lot better. I do hopefully plan to invest in a Gauge Master controller eventually. I can't get one right now, so I will be using the Hornby controller, but I do plan to get a Gauge Master. So yeah, but it's working. So I say now, let's get the coaches on the track. So now we're going to get the coaches on the track, so we're going to just put the re-railer down, and I'm going to do it with the brake at the end, and then one Pullman coach, okay, and then two Pullman coach. And then it's just as simple as connect them together. I will say these do not like connecting on curves, so make sure that when you are connecting the coach to the locomotive, you connect it on a straight piece of track like I am right now. So we're just going to back Blink Bonnie. All right. All right. I believe they are coupled. No, they are not actually. Okay, now they are. Just need a little help. All right. Now let's get the locomotive running. All right. Well, that is my review of the Blink Bonnie Scotsman Hornby TT120, that is a long title, scale train set. I think it's a really good train set. I think it's a great starter set for the new scaling. I really like the trains and the coaches that I really like the locomotive and the coaches that come in the set. The track seems to work fine even with the issues that it has. And yeah, the locomotive just runs really well, and I'm very happy with it. So thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next review. Bye.